Hey, thanks for tuning in to EDC Journeys. Hope you enjoy the video. If you do, smash that thumbs up button and consider subscribing. What's going on, EDC people, and what's our journey today? I have the Rough Ryder Big Daddy High Plains Barlow, and it is quite the big daddy. The handle, let's just get right into the facts. The handle is 5 inches, including the bolster. So 5-inch blade with a 4-inch, a 5-inch handle, with a 4-inch blade for an overall length of 9 inches. It is a long, big guy. As for the weight, I already took the measurements on the scale. It is 4.13 ounces and 117 grams. You can see quite clearly that it's a clip point. It's the typical Rough Ryder 440 steel. It's got the slant R pinched bolster. Well, it says that on the website, and it was one of the issues I was going to bring up. I'm not sure where it's really pinched. I have some other ones here. Let me see. For example, this Barlow, the Backwoods Bushcraft. I thought that that's what pinched meant, but maybe I'm confused about something. And while we're on that topic, why don't we do some comparisons? Not that I have much that compares to the length of this, but this is the Backwoods Bushcraft Barlow made by Rough Ryder compared to the High Plains Big Daddy Barlow. I'll also pull out the micarta work knife. Give you some comparison there. Take the Barlow away, and I'll show you. Oh, I can show you my PMP user. That's one. It's kind of Barlow-ish because it's got a bolster on one side. I don't get to show that off very often, and I love this knife. So there's that. You can see that the Big Daddy High Plains definitely outlengths all of them. Let's see, what else can I show you that has any similarity? Well, how about the mascot knife? I'll just pull out the spade blade. Hey, that's the closest probably as far as blade length is concerned. This is a trapper style, but what can I do? Let's see here. I'll do one or two more examples. This is not a... See, again, here's the pinched, what I considered pinched, with the slant R bolster, but the website says this is a pinched slant R bolster, so I'm just reporting the news. This is the sow belly in buckshot bone. Just to give you an idea, again, if you have one of these, maybe you can get an idea of how big this is to it. Okay. Let's do one more just for comparison's sake. I'll compare it to the Civivi Elementum just to, and I'll do it at the bottom. Just to give you an idea of the length. I think a lot of you have probably seen or handled or have the Elementum, so maybe you can get a rough idea as to how big this guy is based on that. Okay. Alright, as I said, it is a clip point with the mirror polish. It has a match strike nail nick pull. The handle, as I said before, is brown bone. It does have one pin that stands slightly proud on both sides. Other than that, the fit and finish is pretty nice. The bone matches pretty well. I noticed a couple YouTubers had some that were way off, but this one isn't so bad. You can see on the back on the spring it's got the brass liners, which look pretty nice. There's no real huge gaps to speak of. Nothing that I feel. When you close the blade at the half stop, the spring does stay up. I know that on a lot of slip joints, the spring is flush at the half stop, but this one is not, just so you know. Not that that's a big whoopty, but it is flush when it's closed and open all the way. While we have it up high, we'll take a look at the choil. It does have a kick, so if you're holding it up here, number one, you have pressure on the spring, so that's going to stop it from closing on you. It already does have some tension, obviously, because of the spring, but it also has that kick there, the little kick spot. So if it were to close on you, it would hit your finger first before the blade does. There is a small sharpening choil. You can hear my co-host Kiki. Let me show you the grind on it. Look at my fingerprints all over the blade, and I've just swiped it off every 2 seconds. That's the only thing about the mirror polish that's kind of frustrating. You can see the grind, it gets a lot larger towards the tip. And the tip is a little bit wonky as far as the grind is concerned. There's a little bit of a burr there. You can see the burr at the top, I believe. And then it gets a little smaller. But it's a Rough Ryder knife, and for the price, these are the types of things that you accept to have a knife like this. As far as ergonomics are concerned, I mean, you can see it's a pretty neutral blade, or neutral handle. There's no real, nothing really special to speak of. It does not really fill the hand in the palm area like I like the this, like the sow belly, how it arcs in the back and fills your palm. The Barlows are typically straight. In fact, I think they're always straight. But look at the difference in size compared to this is a typical Rough Ryder Barlow, 2-blade Barlow. And this is the Big Daddy. I really wanted one. I love Barlow designs, and I wanted one that I could carry and actually use that was bigger than this, because this is honestly kind of small. I mean, you can see in my hand it's more of a secondary carry. This one is bigger, but it's not exactly what I was looking for, to be honest. It does have a long 5-inch handle that definitely can't say it isn't bigger. So you can definitely get a full grip on this, and I would be doubtful that you couldn't, no matter how big your hand was. You're going to be up here probably, and is it comfortable? Well, I don't think it's any different than I'm not sure how to answer the question. It's thin. It's about as it looks. I hate to leave you hanging there for an answer, but really it's not great, but it's not there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't feel like I'm holding a bag of porcupines or anything. So there is that. And now let's just take a look at it close up, and first I'll let you listen to the walk and talk. I'm going to bring the microphone down to it a little bit. It's a big slap down. It is centered. If I can focus. Maybe it's favoring one side more than, how can I, there. Yeah, it might be favoring this side just slightly, but it's not touching. It's not touching the liner. In fact, now it looks more censored. Okay, well, whatever. Here's the walk and talk again. And I'll give you a close-up of it. And this is in natural lighting. I have windows just over here, so I think you're getting the best representation of what I actually have here based on that. You know, again, they did a pretty good job. You know, it's the layers are pretty even. The bone is fairly well matched. The pins, with the exception of the center pin, which does stand absolutely proud, you can see it. You know, there's no transition from the bolster to the bone, and the other pins are fine. I kind of wish, as I usually do, that the nail nick was a little further out, because this blade is so long that it, you know, you're really, especially when I have no nail on this finger, it can get really hard to get the leverage you need on the blade to pull it out. But the pull is not really hard at all on this knife. It's just a matter, I'm just saying, to use the nail nick it would be better if it was a little further out. I usually just kind of pinch it at the top, at that top of the clip point. Speaking of which, we'll go close up on the blade. See the swedge. .440 razor sharp steel, we know that. I'll tell you the model number, in case you want to look it up, is RR2045. So I've carried it. It's so long that I put it in my eyeglass case, and I find that that's a fine spot for it. I'm not sure really what the real use of it would be. It's so long. You know, I could see using this at a steakhouse or something, maybe, perhaps. Oop, I'm still zoomed in, aren't I? There we go. See, I always do that. I could see using it while cooking or at a barbecue or something, so that you can have a length and cut something off a bone. You know, but for EDC purposes, it's not exactly what I was looking for in a Barlow. But it is nice. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it's meant to be. It's my error in ordering it, thinking that it was something different. I'm not sure what it is that I'm looking for. I look at people like or channels like Patty's Potato Peelers, and he has things like the you know, like the higher end Boker Barlows that really are more EDCable, and at some point I'll be able to get one, maybe. Excuse me, and use that to fulfill my my desires, or a GEC would be a godsend. But in the meantime, Rough Ryder is fine. They are built by hand and backed for life. So you can't beat that. You have to remember that at all times. There is something to be said for a lifetime warranty. I have no idea what that warranty covers, but there you go. I think it's $12.99 at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Probably tax and shipping. The ridged planes aren't jagged or anything like that. So as far as I was talking about ergonomics, they have no real play in it. Very difficult to show you on camera, as it is so large, without being upside down. But it's a nice clip point. and a great example of a Granddaddy Barlow. So it's great to add to the collection. It just isn't necessarily what I want for an EDC Barlow. And the cat is talking. So, with all that having been said, I will leave you for the morning. This is again the Rough Ryder High Plains Barlow. I got it at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and I can't really complain too much. It's a nice addition to the collection, and the bowing is pretty nice. They did a pretty good job with the gapping, with no gaps. I mean, on the back. So, I'll leave you with that. Hope everyone's having a great day. And I'll talk to you later. Oh, here comes Kitty. Thanks for tuning in to EDC Journeys. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing.